The morning alarm buzzed loudly in the medical center on planet Kepler. Dr. Ashley Kim rubbed her tired eyes and looked at the clock. Another quiet day was about to begin at the Space Medical Station. Or so she thought. Ashley had been working as the head doctor at this remote facility for 3 years now. The job was usually peaceful, treating minor injuries from space travelers and conducting routine health checks on the station crew. She never expected that this Tuesday would change everything she knew about medicine. While sipping her morning coffee and reviewing patient files, a loud emergency siren suddenly filled the air. The communication system crackled to life with an urgent message from the station's control room. Dr. Kim, we have an emergency situation. An unknown spacecraft has crashed about 2 miles from our location. We're detecting one life form, but the readings are completely different from anything we've seen before. Ashley's heart started beating faster. In all her years of medical training, she had only treated humans and the few known alien species that were already part of the galactic community. An unknown life form was something entirely new. She quickly gathered her emergency medical kit and called her team. Dr. James Park, who specialized in treating different alien species, arrived. First, right behind him came Dr. Lisa Rodriguez, who was an expert in helping patients recover from injuries. What do we know about this situation? Dr. Park asked as they climbed into the medical transport vehicle. Not much, Ashley replied, checking her equipment one more time. The control room says the ship is badly damaged, and there's one survivor inside. The life readings are showing patterns we've never seen before. The journey to the crash site took only 15 minutes, but it felt much longer. As they approached the location, they could see smoke rising from a strange-looking spacecraft that was partially buried in the ground. The ship's design was unlike anything from Earth or the other known planets. When they reached the crash site, Ashley felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. This could be their first contact with a completely new species. As a doctor, her primary concern was helping whoever was inside that ship. The rescue team had already created a safe path to the spacecraft. Ashley and her team carefully made their way through the twisted metal and broken parts inside the ship. They found something that took their breath away. Lying on what appeared to be a medical bed was a being that looked somewhat like a human, but with several obvious differences. Her skin had a slight blue tint and seemed to shimmer in the light. Her hair was silver and moved as if it was floating in water, even though there was no water around. But what caught Ashley's attention immediately was that the being appeared to be in severe pain. Her legs were locked in a rigid position, and she was making soft sounds that clearly indicated distress. "Hello," Ashley said gently, hoping the universal translator device would work. "We're here to help you. Can you understand me?" The being's large, bright green eyes focused on Ashley. When she spoke, her voice was melodic but filled with pain. "Yes, I can understand you through your translation device. My name is Zara. I am from the planet Zephyr, far from here." Ashley felt relief that communication was possible. "I'm Dr. Ashley Kim. We're going to take you to our medical facility, where we can help you. Can you tell me what's wrong?" Zara's face showed an expression of both hope and worry. "My legs, they won't move. When my ship crashed, something happened to my body on my planet. We have special crystals in our bones that help us move. I think your planet's minerals are affecting them badly." Dr. Park leaned forward with interest. "That's fascinating. We've never encountered a species with crystalline bone structure before." "Please," Zara continued, her voice getting weaker. "I need help. The pain is getting worse, and I cannot move my lower body at all. On my world, we have healers who know how to fix this problem, but I am so far from home." Ashley made a quick decision. "We're going to move you to our medical center right away. Don't worry, we'll figure out how to help you." The team carefully transferred Zara onto their medical transport bed. During the journey back to the facility, Ashley couldn't help but notice how different Zara's vital signs were from humans. Her heart beat in a different rhythm, and her body temperature was much cooler than normal human temperature. "Dr. Kim," Zara said weakly as they traveled, "I must warn you. My people's medicine is very different from what you might know. We use pressure and sound waves to heal our bodies. I do not know if your methods will work on me. We'll learn. Ashley replied with determination. Medicine is about helping people, no matter where they come from. When they arrived at the medical center, Ashley realized this was going to be the biggest challenge of her career. She had treated many different types of beings before, but never someone whose entire physiology was unknown to her. As they moved Zara into the examination room, Ashley noticed that several of the station's crew members had gathered to see the new arrival. Word was already spreading throughout the facility about their unusual patient. Everyone stay calm and give us space. To work, Ashley announced to the curious onlookers. We have a patient who needs our help, and that's our priority right now. Zara looked around the medical facility with wide eyes. Everything was so different from her home planet. The bright lights, the strange equipment, and the unfamiliar faces all around her made her feel scared and alone. Dr. Kim, she said quietly, what if you cannot help me? What if I never walk again? Ashley looked at Zara with compassion and spoke in a reassuring tone. I've been a doctor for 15 years, and I've learned that there's almost always a way to help someone if you're willing to try hard enough. We're going to study your condition, learn about your species' medicine, and find a solution together. As Ashley began her initial examination, she realized that this case would require her to think completely differently about medicine. Everything she knew about anatomy and healing would need to be reconsidered for this unique patient. The day that started as routine had turned into the beginning of an incredible medical adventure. Ashley knew that helping Zara would not only save one life, but could also open the door to medical discoveries that would benefit both their species for generations to come. Little did she know that this was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything she thought she knew about healing and medicine. The next morning, Dr. Ashley Kim arrived at the medical center earlier than usual. She had spent the entire night reading everything she could find about unknown alien physiology, but nothing prepared her for what she was dealing with. Zara's condition was unlike anything in their medical databases. When Ashley entered Zara's room, she found her patient awake but clearly in more pain than the day before. Zara's silver hair seemed to have lost some of its shimmer, and her blue-tinted skin looked paler. Good morning, Zara. How are you feeling today? Ashley asked gently, checking the monitors that showed Zara's vital signs. The pain is getting stronger, Dr. Kim, Zara replied, her melodic voice strained with discomfort. My legs feel like they are turning to stone. This has never happened to me before. Even during my other space travels? Ashley nodded thoughtfully. I've called in my best team members to help us understand your condition better. We're going to figure this out together. Just then, Dr. James Park walked in carrying a tablet full of research notes. Behind him came Dr. Lisa Rodriguez with a cart of specialized equipment. Ashley had chosen these two doctors because they were the best at solving difficult medical puzzles. Zara, I'd like you to meet Dr. Park and Dr. Rodriguez. They're here to help us understand what's happening to your body, Ashley explained. Dr. Park stepped forward with a friendly smile. Hello, Zara. I specialize in studying how different alien species' bodies work. I've been researching your symptoms all night, and I have some theories about what might be causing your problem. Zara looked at him with hope in her green eyes. Please, tell me what you think is wrong. Well, Dr. Park began, pulling up some data on his tablet. You mentioned that your people have crystals in their bones. Our planet's soil contains very different minerals than what you're used to. When your ship crashed, you came into direct contact with our planet's ground for the first time, Dr. Rodriguez added. We took some readings of the soil around your crash site. The mineral composition is completely different from what we'd expect to find on your home planet. Zara's eyes widened with understanding. You think your planet's minerals are poisoning my bone crystals? Not exactly poisoning, Dr. Park explained carefully, more like causing a reaction. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a piece of metal that works perfectly in one type of environment, but when you put it in a different environment, it starts to rust or change shape. Ashley could see that Zara was beginning to understand. So the crystals in your bones are reacting to our planet's minerals and causing them to lock up? That's our theory, Ashley confirmed. But we need to understand more about how your body normally works before we can figure out how to fix this. Zara took a deep breath, wincing slightly from the pain. On my planet Zephyr, our bones contain living crystals that help us move and stay strong. These crystals are connected to the minerals in our soil and even the sounds in our environment. Dr. Rodriguez leaned forward with interest. Sounds in your environment? What do you mean by that? Our planet makes special vibrations, what you might call music, that keeps our bone crystals healthy. Our healers use these vibrations along with pressure from their hands to treat injuries and illness. This was fascinating new information for the medical team. Dr. Park made notes quickly while Ashley asked more questions. Can you describe these healing methods in more detail? Ashley asked. The more we understand about your normal medical practices, the better we can help you. Sarah closed her eyes for a moment, as if remembering something beautiful. When someone is hurt on Zephyr, the healers first listen to the person's body to understand what sounds it needs. Then they use their hands to apply pressure to specific points while creating the right vibrations. It sounds similar to some ancient healing practices from Earth, Dr. Rodriguez said thoughtfully. We have techniques called massage therapy and sound healing, though we don't use them for crystalline bone structures. Dr. Park was excited by this connection. Zara, do you think human hands could provide the right kind of pressure your body needs? Zara looked uncertain. I do not know. Human hands are different from Zephyrian hands. Our healers have spent years learning exactly where to touch and how much pressure to use. But, she paused, looking at Ashley with trust. You saved my life yesterday. Maybe you can learn. Ashley felt the weight of responsibility, but also a surge of determination. We'll do whatever it takes to help you. But first, we need to run some tests to understand exactly how your body works. Over the next several hours, the team carefully examined Zara using their most advanced equipment. They discovered that her bone crystals were indeed reacting to the planet's minerals, causing them to harden and lock in place. Look at this, Dr. Park said, showing his colleagues the scan results. The crystals in her leg bones have changed their structure completely. They're forming rigid connections that prevent any move. Dr. Rodriguez studied the images carefully. If we could find a way to reverse this crystallization process, we might be able to restore her mobility as they worked. Zara shared more information about her people's healing methods. She described how Zephyrian healers could feel the vibrations in a person's bones and knew exactly what sounds and touches were needed. The interesting thing, Ashley noted, is that your descriptions of pressure points and vibrations match some of our own alternative healing methods. Ancient human healers also believed in using touch and sound for healing. Dr. Park had been researching human healing traditions while they worked. I found information about various Earth cultures that use similar techniques: Chinese acupuncture, Indian Ayurveda, and even some Native American healing practices all involve applying pressure to specific body points. But the question is, Dr. Rodriguez said, can we adapt these human techniques to work on Zephyrian physiology? Zara had been listening carefully to their discussion. Dr. Kim, I believe you can learn. Your hands may be different from ours, but your hearts want to heal. That is the most important thing for any healer. Ashley felt touched by Zara's faith in them. We'll study your people's methods and combine them with our own knowledge. We'll create a treatment plan that works for your unique condition. As the day progressed, the team gathered more and more information. They learned that Zara's species had evolved alongside their planet's unique mineral environment, creating a symbiotic relationship between their bodies and their world. It's like you're homesick, but your homesickness is actually a physical condition, Ashley explained to Zara. Your body is literally missing the environmental elements it needs to function properly. By evening, the team had developed a basic understanding of Zara's condition. The crystalline structures in her bones needed specific mineral interactions and sound frequencies to maintain their flexibility and function. Tomorrow, we'll start working on a treatment plan, Ashley told Zara as she prepared to leave for the night. We're going to combine what we know about human healing techniques with what you've taught us about Zephyrian medicine. Zara smiled for the first time since her arrival. Thank you, Dr. Kim. For the first time since my crash, I feel hope that I might walk again. As Ashley left the medical center that night, she realized that this case was teaching her as much about healing as all her years of medical school combined. Sometimes the best medicine came from understanding not just the science, but also the spirit of healing itself. By the third day, Zara's condition had worsened significantly. When Dr. Ashley Kim entered the room that morning, she could see that her patient was struggling more than ever before. Zara's beautiful silver hair had completely lost its floating quality and now lay flat against her head. Her skin, once shimmering with a healthy blue glow, had turned a dull gray color. Zara, how did you sleep? Ashley asked, though she could already see the answer in her patient's tired eyes. I did not sleep much, Dr. Kim, Zara replied weakly. The pain has spread from my legs to my lower back. I feel like my body is slowly turning into solid rock. If this continues, I fear I may never move again. Ashley's heart sank. Despite all the research and testing, they still hadn't found a way to help Zara. Time was running out, and she could see the fear growing in her patient's eyes. Dr. James Park entered the room, carrying his morning coffee and a stack of research papers. I've been up all night studying crystalline structures and mineral interactions, he said, looking exhausted but determined. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez followed close behind with her tablet full of notes. I've been researching every healing technique from Earth's history that might be relevant to Zara's condition. Ashley gathered her team around Zara's bedside. We need to try something different. Our traditional medical approaches aren't working fast enough. Zara looked at the three doctors with a mixture of hope and desperation. Dr. Kim, there's something I have not told you yet, something that might help, but I was not sure if it would be possible here. What is it, Zara? Please tell us everything. Ashley encouraged. Zara took a shaky breath. On my planet, when someone has a condition like mine, our healers do not just use pressure and sound. They also connect with the patient's spirit, their inner energy. The healing comes not just from the physical touch, but from the healer's intention to help. Dr. Park looked confused. What do you mean by connecting with someone's spirit? It is hard to explain in your language, Zara said slowly. Our healers believe that healing energy can flow from one being to another through careful touch and focused intention. They do not just press on the body, they share their healing energy with the patient. Dr. Rodriguez had been studying alternative healing methods and suddenly became excited. Zara, what you're describing sounds very similar to some ancient Earth practices. Many human cultures believed in healing energy that could be transferred through touch. Ashley was intrigued but also concerned about trying unproven methods. Can you describe exactly how this healing process works on your planet? Zara's eyes brightened slightly as she began to explain. The healer places their hands on specific points of the patient's body, but before they begin, they spend time understanding the patient's energy pattern. Each person has a unique vibration, like a song that only they can sing. Then what happens? Ashley asked, genuinely curious. The healer listens to the patient's body with their hands, feeling for the places where the energy is blocked or wrong. Then they use gentle pressure and healing vibrations to restore the natural flow. Dr. Park was taking detailed notes. These vibrations you mention, are they sounds that we could hear? Some of them, yes, but others are felt more than heard. Our healers often hum or sing while they work, creating frequencies that help the bone crystals remember their proper shape. Dr. Rodriguez suddenly stood up with excitement. Ashley, I think I understand what Zara is talking about. There are documented cases in human medicine where sound frequencies have been used to break up kidney stones and even help bones heal faster. Ashley felt a spark of hope. So you think we could combine physical pressure techniques with sound therapy? It's possible, Dr. Rodriguez replied. We have equipment that can generate specific sound frequencies. If we could figure out the right frequencies for Zara's bone crystals, we might be able to help them return to their normal state. Zara struggled to sit up slightly, wincing from the pain. There's more. The healing songs of my people are not random. Each song is created specifically for the patient's unique energy pattern. No two healing sessions are exactly the same. This information both excited and worried Ashley. How will we know what frequencies to use for you? On Zephyr, healers train for many years to learn how to sense these patterns. But Zara paused, looking thoughtful. I know my own energy pattern. I have been living with it my whole life. If you could learn to feel what I feel, maybe I could guide you. Dr. Park looked skeptical. You mean you could teach us to sense your energy? Pattern that I could try, Zara said with determination. Dr. Kim, when you first touched me during the examination, did you feel anything unusual? Ashley thought back to that first day. Actually, yes. There was a strange tingling sensation in my hands when I touched your skin. I thought it was just static electricity. That was not static, Zara explained. That was you sensing my energy. Humans may have this ability too, but you do not train to use it like my people do. Dr. Rodriguez was fascinated. So you're saying that Ashley might naturally be able to sense what your body needs? All healers have this gift to some degree, Zara said. It is what makes someone want to help others get better. The desire to heal comes from being able to feel another person's pain as if it were your own. Ashley realized that Zara was describing something she had always felt but never understood. Throughout her medical career, she had often seemed to know instinctively what her patients needed, even when the tests didn't show clear answers. What would I need to do? Ashley asked, her curiosity overcoming her scientific skepticism. Place your hands gently on my legs and try to feel what my body is telling you. Do not think with your mind, listen with your hands. Ashley looked at her colleagues, who both nodded encouragingly. She carefully placed her hands on Zara's rigid legs, closed her eyes, and tried to quiet her analytical mind. At first, she felt nothing unusual, but after a few minutes, she began to sense something, a deep, slow vibration that seemed wrong somehow, like a song being played in the wrong key. I think I feel something, Ashley said quietly. It's like a heavy, slow rhythm that doesn't feel right. Zara's eyes filled with tears of relief. Yes, that is exactly what it feels like. The crystals in my bones are vibrating too slowly and too heavily. They need to remember their lighter, faster rhythm. Dr. Rodriguez immediately began researching sound frequencies on her tablet. If we can identify the right frequency range, we might be able to create the sounds Zara's bones need to heal. Dr. Park was also getting excited about the possibilities. We could combine Ashley's intuitive touch with scientifically measured sound frequencies. It would be like bridging ancient healing wisdom with modern medical technology. Over the next few hours, the team worked together to develop a treatment plan that none of them had ever attempted before. They would combine gentle pressure techniques with carefully calibrated sound frequencies, guided by Ashley's newfound ability to sense Zara's energy patterns. This is completely uncharted territory, Ashley admitted. We're combining medical science with healing methods that most doctors would consider impossible. Zara smiled weakly but with genuine hope. Dr. Kim, the best healers are those who are willing to learn new ways to help their patients. You are not just treating my body. You are opening your heart to understanding a completely different way of healing. As they prepared for the first treatment session, Ashley realized that this experience was changing her understanding of what it meant to be a healer. She was learning that sometimes the most effective medicine came from combining scientific knowledge with compassion, intuition, and the willingness to try something completely new. Tomorrow we begin, Ashley told Zara. We're going to help you remember how to be healthy again. The fourth day arrived with a sense of nervous excitement throughout the medical facility. Dr. Ashley Kim had barely slept, spending most of the night reviewing their treatment plan and wondering if their unconventional approach would actually work. This was unlike anything she had ever attempted in her medical career. When Ashley entered Zara's room that morning, she found her patient looking both hopeful and scared. Zara's condition had continued to worsen overnight. Her legs were now completely rigid, and the crystallization seemed to be spreading slowly up her spine. Good morning, Zara. Are you ready to try our new treatment? Ashley asked, trying to sound more confident than she felt. I am ready, Dr. Kim, Zara replied, though her voice was weaker than the day before. "I trust you and your team. If this does not work, at least we will know we tried everything possible." Dr. James Park and Dr. Lisa Rodriguez entered the room, carrying their specialized equipment. They had spent hours the previous evening setting up sound frequency generators and monitoring devices that would track Zara's vital signs during the treatment. "We've prepared everything according to our discussion yesterday," Dr. Rodriguez explained. "The sound equipment can produce the frequency ranges that Zara described, and we'll monitor her body's responses throughout the session," Dr. Park added. "We've also researched pressure point techniques from various Earth cultures. While they're designed for human anatomy, the principles might translate to Zara's physiology." Ashley took a deep breath and approached Zara's bedside. "Let's start slowly. I'm going to place my hands on your legs again and try to sense what your body is telling me." As Ashley gently placed her hands on Zara's rigid legs, she immediately felt that same heavy, wrong vibration she had sensed the day before. But this time, it felt even more distorted, like a musical instrument that was badly out of tune. "I can feel it," Ashley said quietly. "The rhythm in your bones feels thick and slow, almost stuck." Zara nodded weakly. "Yes, that is exactly right." "Can you feel where the blockage is strongest?" Ashley moved her hands carefully along Zara's legs, trying to sense differences in the vibrations near Zara's knees. The feeling became particularly heavy and uncomfortable. "Here," Ashley said, positioning her hands over the area. "Something feels very wrong in this spot." "That is where the crystallization started," Zara confirmed. "When my ship crashed, I hit my knees hard against the control panel. The shock must have disrupted the crystal structure there first." Dr. Rodriguez began adjusting the sound frequency equipment. "I'm going to start with very low frequencies and gradually increase them, Zara. Tell us when you feel any change in your body." The room filled with a deep, barely audible humming sound. At first, nothing seemed to happen. But after a few minutes, Zara's eyes widened slightly. "I can feel something," she said with surprise. "The heaviness in my bones is shifting a little." Ashley kept her hands positioned over Zara's knees, applying gentle but steady pressure. "I can feel it too. The vibration under my hands is starting to change." Dr. Park monitored the equipment readings carefully. Zara's heart rate is becoming more regular, and her body temperature is rising slightly. "These are good signs," as Dr. Rodriguez gradually increased the sound frequencies. Ashley began to notice that the wrong feeling under her hands was slowly improving. The heavy, stuck vibration was becoming lighter and more fluid. "This is working," Ashley said with growing excitement. "I can actually feel the change happening." But the process was not easy. After about 20 minutes of treatment, Zara suddenly cried out in discomfort. "The pain is getting stronger," she said, gripping the sides of her bed. "It feels like something is breaking loose inside my bones." Ashley was concerned, but remembered what Zara had told them about Zephyrin healing. "Is this normal for your people's healing process?" "Yes," Zara said through gritted teeth. "When blocked energy starts to move again, it can be painful at first. But this pain feels different from the stuck feeling. This pain feels like healing." Dr. Rodriguez quickly adjusted the sound frequencies to a gentler level. "Let's reduce the intensity, but keep the treatment going." Over the next hour, they continued the careful process of applying pressure and sound therapy. Ashley found that she was beginning to understand the rhythm of Zara's body better. She could sense when to apply more pressure and when to ease off. "Dr. Kim," Zara said during a quiet moment, "you are learning to heal like a Zephyrian. I can feel your energy connecting with mine." Ashley was amazed by this experience. "I never knew that healing could feel like this. It's like I'm having a conversation with your body through my hands." Dr. Park had been taking detailed notes throughout the session. The readings show that the crystalline structures in Zara's bones are definitely changing. The rigid formations are becoming more flexible. After 2 hours of treatment, they decided to take a break. Ashley removed her hands from Zara's legs, and everyone waited to see if there had been any improvement. "How do you feel, Zara?" Dr. Rodriguez asked. Zara concentrated for a moment. Then her face lit up with the first real smile they had seen from her. "I can wiggle my toes," she said with joy. "Just a little bit, but I can feel them moving." The medical team was thrilled, but Ashley knew they still had a long way to go. "This is just the beginning. We'll need several more sessions to fully restore your mobility." Over the following days, they continued the treatment sessions. Each day brought small improvements. Zara could move her toes, then her ankles, then her knees. The rigid crystallization was slowly dissolving as her bone crystals remembered their natural, flexible state. The treatment process taught Ashley things about healing that no medical school had ever covered. She learned to trust her intuition as much as her scientific training. She discovered that sometimes the most effective medicine came from truly connecting with a patient's experience. "Dr. Kim," Zara said during one of their sessions, "you have become a true healer. You have learned to listen not just with your mind, but with your heart and hands." The other doctors were amazed by Ashley's developing abilities. Dr. Rodriguez commented, "It's like you've discovered a completely new diagnostic tool. You can sense things about patients that our machines cannot detect." Dr. Park was documenting everything carefully. "This experience is going to change how we think about medicine. We're proving that healing can involve much more than just drugs and surgery." But the treatment process was not always smooth. Some days, Zara's condition seemed to improve dramatically. Other days, the progress slowed or even reversed slightly. Ashley learned that healing was not a straight line, but rather a series of advances. In temporary setbacks, patience is part of healing too. Zara taught her during a difficult day when the treatment seemed less effective. Sometimes the body needs time to remember how to be healthy again. Ashley realized that this experience was changing her as a person, not just as a doctor. She was learning to be more patient, more intuitive, and more connected to her patients' experiences. As the days passed, word of their unusual treatment spread throughout the medical facility. Other doctors came to observe their sessions, curious about this combination of ancient healing wisdom and modern medical science. "What you're doing here could revolutionize how we approach difficult medical cases," one visiting doctor told Ashley. "You're proving that there are many different ways to heal." By the end of the second week of treatment, Zara had regained significant movement in her legs. She could bend her knees, move her feet, and even sit up in bed without assistance. The gray color had left her skin, and her silver hair was beginning to regain its floating quality. "We're really doing it," Ashley said to her team after a particularly successful session. "We're actually helping her body remember how to be healthy again." 3 weeks had passed since Zara's crash, and the medical facility buzzed with excitement. Word had spread throughout the space station that something remarkable was happening. In the treatment room, Dr. Ashley Kim had arrived early that morning, as had become her habit, eager to continue Zara's healing sessions. When Ashley entered Zara's room, she was greeted by a sight that filled her heart with joy. Zara was sitting up in bed, moving her legs freely and combing her beautiful silver hair, which now floated around her head with its original ethereal quality. Her skin had returned to its healthy blue shimmer, and her green eyes sparkled with life. "Good morning, Dr. Kim," Zara said with a bright smile. "Look what I can do now." To Ashley's amazement, Zara slowly swung her legs over the side of the bed and stood up. She was wobbly at first, but she was standing on her own for the first time since the crash. "Zara, this is incredible," Ashley said, tears of happiness forming in her eyes. "How do you feel?" "I feel like myself again," Zara replied, taking a few careful steps. "The heavy feeling in my bones is almost completely gone. I can feel my crystals vibrating at their proper frequency again." Dr. James Park and Dr. Lisa Rodriguez entered the room just in time to witness Zara's first steps. Both doctors stood in amazement, hardly believing what they were seeing. "This is miraculous," Dr. Rodriguez said, checking her tablet readings. "All of Zara's vital signs are showing normal ranges for her species. The crystalline structures in her bones have returned to their natural, flexible state." Dr. Park was busy taking notes and measurements. "We need to document everything about this recovery. This treatment method could help other patients in the future." Over the following days, Zara's strength continued to improve. She was soon walking normally around her room and even exploring other parts of the medical facility. Her recovery had become an inspiration to everyone at the station. But Ashley knew that Zara's healing meant she would soon be ready to leave. The thought made her both happy and sad. Happy because her patient was healthy again, but sad because she had grown to care for Zara as both a patient and a friend. "Dr. Kim," Zara said one morning, "I have been thinking about something important. My ship is badly damaged, but with your facility's help, I believe it can be repaired." Ashley nodded. "We have some excellent engineers here. I'm sure they'd be happy to help you get back to space." "That is wonderful," Zara said, then paused thoughtfully. "But before I leave, I want to share something with you and your team. You have given me back my health, and I want to give you something valuable in return." "What do you mean?" Ashley asked, curious. Zara's eyes lit up with enthusiasm. "I want to teach you everything I know about Zephyrian healing methods. The techniques you learn while treating me are just the beginning. There is so much more I can share with you over the next several days." Zara spent hours with Ashley and her team, teaching them about the healing traditions of her people. She showed them how to sense different types of energy patterns in patients, and how to use specific sound frequencies for various medical conditions. Every species has its own unique healing vibration. Zara explained during one of their learning sessions. Humans have this ability too, but most of you have forgotten how to use it. Dr. Rodriguez was fascinated by the sound healing techniques. "On Earth, we have some similar practices, but nothing as sophisticated as what you're describing. Sound can heal many things," Zara said. "Broken bones, damaged organs, even emotional pain. Your people used to know this, but modern medicine has focused more on chemicals and surgery." Ashley realized that Zara was offering them knowledge that could revolutionize medicine. "Would you be willing to let us record your teachings? Other doctors around the galaxy could benefit from this information." "Of course," Zara replied happily. "Knowledge should be shared. The more healers who understand these methods, the more people can be helped." As word spread about Zara's healing and her willingness to share medical knowledge, doctors from other parts of the galaxy began requesting permission to visit the station. The facility was becoming a center for learning about interspecies medicine. Dr. Park was working on organizing all the information they had gathered. "Ashley, we're going to need to create a formal medical exchange program. This is bigger than just one patient recovery." Meanwhile, the engineering team had been working on repairing Zara's ship. The chief engineer, a skilled woman named Captain Ruth Thompson, reported that the repairs were nearly complete. "Her ship uses technology I've never seen before, Captain," Thompson told Ashley. "But Zara has been very helpful in explaining how everything works. We should have her spaceworthy again within a few days." As Zara's departure date approached, Ashley felt a mixture of emotions. She was proud of what they had accomplished together, but she would miss her extraordinary patient. "Dr. Kim," Zara said one evening as they sat in the facility's observation lounge, looking out at the stars, "you have changed my life, but I think I have changed yours too." Ashley nodded thoughtfully. "You've taught me that being a good doctor means being open to learning from every patient, no matter how different they might be from what I'm used to. And you have taught me that healers exist in all species," Zara replied. "The desire to help others is universal." The day of Zara's departure finally arrived. Her ship had been fully repaired and restocked with supplies for her journey home. The entire medical facility staff gathered to say goodbye to their remarkable patient. "Before I go," Zara announced to the assembled group, "I want to make you all an official promise. I will return to Zephyr and tell my people about the wonderful healers I met here. We will establish a formal medical exchange program between our worlds." Ashley stepped forward to say her final goodbye. "Zara, thank you for trusting us to help you. You've taught us that healing is about more than just fixing what's broken. It's about connecting with each other and sharing our knowledge," Zara embraced Ashley warmly. "You will always be a sister healer to me, Dr. Kim. And remember, you now carry the healing knowledge of two worlds. Use it well." As Zara's ship lifted off from the landing pad, Ashley and her team watched from the observation deck. The ship's unique design gleamed in the starlight as it rose into space. "She'll be back," Dr. Rodriguez said confidently, "and she'll probably bring other Zephyrian healers with her." Dr. Park was already planning their next steps. "We need to start preparing training programs for other doctors who want to learn these techniques." As the ship disappeared into the star-filled sky, Ashley reflected on how much her life had changed in just a few weeks. She had learned new ways to heal, made a friend from another world, and helped establish what would become an important bridge between two very different species. The medical facility continued its work, but now with an expanded understanding of what healing could be. Patients from various species began requesting treatment at the station, hoping to benefit from the unique combination of traditional medicine and Zephyrian healing techniques. Ashley often stood in that same observation lounge, looking out at the stars and wondering what other healing knowledge existed in the vast universe. Zara had opened her eyes to possibilities she had never imagined. Months later, as promised, Zara returned with a delegation of Zephyrian healers. The medical exchange program officially began, and doctors from both worlds started learning from each other. "Dr. Kim," Zara said during her return visit, "look what we have created together. This is just the beginning of something that will help countless beings throughout the galaxy." Ashley smiled, watching human and Zephyrian healers working side by side. Sometimes the best discoveries happen when we're simply trying to help one person in need. The story of Zara's healing had become legendary throughout the medical community, inspiring doctors everywhere to be more open to new methods and to never give up on finding ways to help their patients. And Ashley never forgot the most important lesson Zara had taught her, that true healing comes not just from knowledge and technique, but from the genuine desire to ease another being's suffering, no matter how different they might be from yourself.